3. Let's go this way, let's get that. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? This is cooked. Bro, they're all just T-posing. Hey guys, I'm just going to make a final update on the build. I got really lucky with a corrupt on a crossbow. This isn't a last lament and this isn't a Marius, by the way. So yeah, I got really lucky on a corrupt on a crossbow. It gave me 3 sockets. This allows me to socket 3 poison plus poison runes, which allows me to drop snakebite, which allowed me to easier gear Ming's Heart. Yeah. I still get about 5k life. Pretty cool. And I push, so 5k life, and I still push like, it's like 7, it's around 7 mil. It fluctuates. It'll go anywhere from like 6 to like 8. So yeah, I just say it's like 7 mil. Yeah. I'll talk about Calm's Heart. 1800 life, Calm's Heart, max corrupt. This cost me 20 div. They're usually around like 30 to 40, I think. This is best in slot. Just get that one. And yeah, I usually run Area of Effect runes on this. I'm just running the curse, has -8 chaos res just for extra damage. Everything else is the same. I'll show you the gems. So this stays the same. So this stuff will all be in the POB Ninja, whatever you want to call it. The only thing that really changed is the area grenade. I swapped in Adhere. Instead of magnified effect. Adhere has a couple of things. So you're 20% less damage. So I think Adhere becomes really good when you have lots of damage. So that's one benefit of Adhere. The other thing is it makes the grenades pop instantly, which is really good. I must say though, that you do need some area support to make Adhere really feel properly good. And I think this is a really good area projectile part of the tree. You can even invest into more projectile speed, but yeah, as long as you got one, it feels pretty good. What this allows you to do is it allows you to ping the projectiles faster, which means they hit the ground quicker and explode. So effectively improving your clear. It also allows you to shoot the projectiles further. So yeah, that's a pretty good part of the tree. Besides that, everything else is the same. I'll talk about the other thing that you have to account for. So Snakebite gives you a plus poison with no downside. The Talisman of Raldana gives you a 25% reduced poison duration. You have to account for that. So just get these two. And I'll tell you why it matters. So on Gas Grenade, the poison duration is 2.88 seconds. With no investment, it's 2.2 seconds. What will happen is you'll be in the boss fight, and then the poison stacks will come off, and then they'll reapply really quickly. It's literally like a 0.2 seconds like difference, but it does happen, and it just makes the fight like not go as quickly as it should. For some reason, if you just invest a little bit into poison duration, this blip almost becomes either indistinguishable, if it doesn't happen as often, or yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't know exactly what goes on, but if you invest into like 2 of these, it basically brings it to like what I had when I had Snakebite, and for some reason it just smooths it out. Alright, so that's pretty much everything. On the weapon swap, I just took out some area nodes for the Gathering Storm, and then I just put it into like this skill speed and movement speed thing, and I think it makes it a bit smoother. You could also just invest in all this attack tree or something. It's really up to you. I also got this loss of rage is slower and starts 1 second later, because if you like chuck it down, get some rage, you know, and then you go away, you don't just lose all your rage stacks just like instantly. Anyway, everything else will be in the POB. I'm just going to quickly talk, because I get questions like, oh, can I run this on a different thing? Wouldn't this get more damage on the other ascendancies? And I think people underestimate, one, how strong hulking form is, and two, what we're leveraging with this build, and why Titan probably still is the best. So, let's start off with something simple. Let's talk about the max life. Yeah. This node gives you 700, it's like 600 life or something like that, which is a lot. And if you really life max with this build, yeah, you can push 6 if you really wanted to, at least with my setup. I was pushing about 5.8 before, and if I wanted to, I could have gone 6. If I was willing to lose some runes, some damage. But yeah, one, it helps with that. These proportion based life regen. Yeah, these percentage based life regen are proportional to your amount of health. So the more health you got, the more effective they are. And the fact that they're on the pathing means they're really useful. And we just pick them up as we go. And then the one thing about Titan, especially if you play warrior a lot, is you can get a lot of life regen and scale it really hard. Like you can push 600, 700, 800 life regen. Yeah, and then hulking form, besides it scaling area, skill effect duration, life regen, all this kind of stuff, ailment magnitude, poison duration, all this stuff that's important to the build, it gives us 50% more damage on the build. It's massive. You take this node off, your damage disappears. Yeah. You know what's crazy? What I realized? These 3 nodes here, that's 20% more damage. It's actually, I think it's even more. I think it's almost 30% more damage. These 3 nodes are freaking crazy. Because, one, it's like, it scales your poison, but then it also scales your shock. Another reason why I invested in shock in this build and didn't bother with Wither, which is another good thing. Because Wither's harder to apply, and yeah. Anyway, and like Wither and Aura takes time to stack. Yeah. Smith of Katahava, you will take less damage from Elemental. You'll take a little bit less damage with Physical. If you get enough health, you can get almost the same. You can get a little bit more effective health pool, but then you lose tons of damage. Yeah, and then the other one would be Pathfinder. Big advantage of Pathfinder is because you can double your poisons, which means you don't have to stat into like all these runes with these downsides, which means it's easier to gear. You don't have to use Snakebite. You can just get it on the tree. And yeah, so I think Pathfinder could be really good. We also path a lot of these life recovery stuff, life recovery on the flasks, all this kind of flask stuff. So you could probably do something really interesting with Flask. And I think if you had like a fat budget, You could get the belt that allows you to overflow your max life on the flask, and you could maybe do something interesting with that. Yeah. And it could help you sustain maybe without blood magic. It's kind of these cost a lot of points, so I think blood magic helps out. Okay. Talked about those. I'm just going to briefly talk about... I tried Playfinger with Rapid Shot. Because I imagine with that whole setup, you're probably not going to do like all these shock techs and all this kind of stuff. And you're probably at most just going to chuck down like a curse and maybe an Orb of Storms. You end up losing damage. Or at least the damage would be the same, but then you'll lose mapping damage. So yeah, if someone can make it work, I'd love to know, but yeah, I don't use it. Or I tried to make it work. I think that's everything when it comes to gearing. And oh, actually one more thing with gearing. Yeah, you can push the build if you really wanted to. If you're willing to sacrifice damage, you could push the build to like 6.5k life and still have between 2 and 4 mil damage, depending on how good your crossbow is. Yeah, you could socket like double life runes here, double life runes here, double life runes here. Yeah, because once you get these 3 things, you can yeah. It really opens up the gearing. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. We'll just go and do a gest, and I'll show you the damage. Yeah, so the clear's not going to look as good as it usually would. Because I usually run the area of effect talismans on the helmet, but the clear will still be good. Don't worry about it. As you can see, we're covering everything. Yeah, if the clear ever feels bad, it just probably means you haven't socketed Suffuse back in. I'm not ready. As you can see, very comfy. While we're mapping, we're still at almost 6k life. Yeah. With a 20% damage reduction, another 30% with Bulwark if we roll. Yeah, pretty chill. Also, Bulwark will allow you to survive a Zest ham slam, so... Or like any other nasty one-shots that can happen, like the big-ass fucking monkey in the jungle. So yeah, Bulwark's really good, and basically all you gotta do is dodge like you're in Dark Soul and not successfully iframe it, and you'll be sweet. So if you suck at dodging, Bulwark's perfect, because it just means less damage when you need it. So yeah, the clear's not going to be as good because I haven't got those area runes which scale the poison overlaps and bursting plague. I will talk about bursting plague. You have to have it on the build. It improves your clear by a ton. Do not ever get rid of it. I tried things like Scatter Shot and all that, and Bursting Plague, just like when you do breaches, Bursting Plague will do most of the clear. Okay. Let's do this. Boom. Done. Just run up to the boss. This is like the easiest setup. No fucking shot, Stormcaller arrow in the air or whatever. There you go. Just put down the shocked ground. Boom. And he's dead. Like, the damage just starts ramping. I don't know exactly why it just starts ramping like crazy, but it just does. And you saw the damage was fucking ridiculous. Especially for how much life we got. Anyway, sweet. Done. That's the build, guys. POB Ninja, whatever you want to call it, in the description. If you have any questions, just let me know. Let me know if you can make the build better. But yeah, I think this is pretty much maxed. Besides, you know, a better crossbow, that kind of stuff. And like some runes. Alrighty, catch you later.